The following broadcast is a presentation of iRacing Motorsport Simulations live on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our partners for their support.
He may get the run on the outside, off of the back straightaway. 26 and Hallmark trying to go 3 wide, no one's with him.
Talking and bobbing and weaving down the back straightaway, looking for a way around. The 5 machine trying to take a look underneath the 3 car. He's gonna dive in down to the bottom. A huge move down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Back bumper. Can anything happen through the tri-oval? Walker Thomas to the inside. Here he comes to the outside. Side by side through the tri-oval. The 14, it's going to be a photo finish to the line. Who's going to get it?
Walker Thomas. Machine coming out of turn number 4. Tiller looking to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He's going to try to look for a gap. Bobbing and weaving for the lead down through the tri-oval.
Photo finish.
2 by 2. The 65 gets the win.
The yellow flag is out. Pit road is now open. Keep your eye on those gauges. We'll give you 4 tyres. 3, 2, 1, now. We're done. Get going.
Hello and welcome, race fans, back to Primetime Racing TV here tonight, back with the ASRS American Sim Racing Series, their Twitchy Race Reports Premier Cup Series, here tonight from the Texas Motor Speedway. And Texas Motor Speedway, of course, being the older version of Texas, the only version that we have in iRacing, but kind of brings its own set of challenges, a little bit older pavement, the older configuration here from Texas. I'm Brandon Krutz, Corey Silva in the booth with me as always, and doubling as our tech producer every night as well. So Corey, how you doing tonight? Welcome back to Texas.
All right, Brandon, very happy to be here. Another ASRS Cup Series race here tonight at Texas, as we mentioned tonight. So it's going to be 134 laps, 200 miles of racing here tonight in these Cup cars. And I can tell you from what we've been hearing with these drivers in pre-race, these drivers are going to have a handful tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys going to kind of have to pay attention to the handling of their race car tonight.
Yeah, so underway, qualifying about 4 minutes into the session. They are with qualifying, and you can see the times on the board. Krutz is the first one on the top of the pylon right now. Still have 1 car on track we can follow. 96 machine of Josh Gallagher on the speedway right now. Cloud Pedal Motorsports 96 machine. We'll see where he can end up.
So far on pole looks to be Scott Eckridge. Looks like that number 96 machine will be 26th position so far.
Yep. As we come off of turn number 4 for the 96 to complete his run. And the 96 machine will remain in the 26th position. So like I said, that is the last car on track now that is currently in the process of making a run. So we will kind of switch our efforts here and kind of give you a little summary of the point standings here tonight.
Yeah, so currently holding the first position in points here going into tonight is Jeff Ward with 166 points. Then behind him in second is Jared Mogard, Jordan Ashley in third. Fourth is Brian Yazik. Fifth is Drew Carroll. Sixth is Scott Eckridge. Seventh is Alan Young. Eighth is Michael Krobuk. Jason Stewart in ninth, and rounding out top 10 in points is Steve Ritter.
Yep, top 10 in points separated by 62 points, so still relatively close for these drivers up front. In the top 2 spots only separated by 6 points, so anything can change within 6 points here at Texas. Kind of give you guys a summary of the weather conditions right now that these drivers will be dealing with tonight. 65 degrees in the air, 92 degrees on the track. A little bit of a higher wind than we normally see, 8-mile-an-hour wind from the northeast, so maybe that will have a little effect on these cars. But with that cooler air temp, that most certainly will be helping these drivers out, Brandon.
Yeah, no doubt, Corey. And take a look at the weather here tonight. It's a clear 65 degrees outside. Track temp sitting around 92. Very, very cool racetrack here tonight. It's racing here in the afternoon. Winds northeast 8 miles an hour. So very, very good, cool conditions to be racing in.
Yeah, so that will add to the grip, but obviously with these Monster Energy NASCAR Cup machines, with their high horsepower, they will be getting the wheel spin here. They will be wearing the tires out, especially at the end of the run, so I really am not expecting the grip to hang on very well tonight, so I expect that every opportunity we'll see 4 tires and fuel. But right now we do have, like I said, practice, or rather qualifying is coming to a close, so we will wait for that to conclude. Looks like your order is pretty well established, but we will obviously wait out the remainder of the time. I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight to PTR TV for tonight's coverage. If you haven't been with us before, make sure you like and subscribe so you do not miss a minute of the action.
Yep, and also for our weekly schedule events, be sure to visit our website at primetimeracing.tv. You can also contact us in any way there via email. So, getting ready as the clock ticks down. These guys get ready to grid. We'll bring you your PTR TV starting lineup here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Starting on pole, the number 70 machine with a time of 29.058 is going to be Scott Eckridge. Then starting in second is going to be Jeff Ward. Third is going to be Drew Carroll. Brian Yazik starting in fourth. Fifth is going to be Sam Maxwell. Jordan Ashland starting sixth. Seventh is Jared Haggerty. Mark Cohn starting in eighth. Steve Ritter in ninth. And rounding out the top 10 is going to be Michael Krobuk.
And then in the 11th position, we have Troy Haight, Evan Black in the 12th position, Alan Young in 13th, Tom Gianni in the 14th spot, David Howard Jr. in 15th, Jordan Harnish rolling off tonight in the 16th position. Rounding out your top 20, Jared Mogart, second in points, remember. Tyler Seville, 18th, and then Andy Veltman and Mark Emerson.
starting in the 21st position, it's going to be Woody Mahan. Then Jim Fu starting 22nd. 23rd is going to be Jordan Miller. 24th is going to be Nick Curling. Then it's John Kennedy, Josh Gallagher, Zach Calloway, Tim Knott, Steve Bula, and Mitch Brown rounding out the top 30.
And rounding out the field tonight, Andrew Garrels 31st, Jason Stewart 32nd, Lee Staples 33rd, Scott Holler 34th, Zach Wells 35th, Sean Music 36th, and then rounding out the grid, Josh Sidden and Josh Gallagher 37th and 38th, but I believe only 36 drivers will be making tonight's grid.
36 cars right now lined up on the grid. That is correct, Corey. So these guys ready to get going, ready to start racing here from the Texas Motor Speedway. Scott Eckridge going to be starting on pole in that number 70 machine. To his outside's the number 90 of Jeff Ward. Pace car should be rolling off here any moment. And Corey, it should be a good one.
Yeah, most certainly, Brandon. We will be seeing a good race here. It's just going to be very important to make sure that we are able to get off of the grid. We do know how these large grids, sometimes it is a lot of cluster going on here the first couple laps, so hopefully these guys can get sorted.
These guys stacked up, doubled up, ready to go. Green flag racing behind the iRacing official pace car. Scott Eckridge and that number 70 machine Chevrolet SS. Getting ready to get things going here tonight. To his outside once again is the number 90 of Jeff Ward. That makes up your front row. Those two drivers going to be crucial for this initial start to get things up and going here. I do expect to see a relatively clean race here tonight. These guys getting ready to get going here as we see Eckridge riding in the apron around there for some reason. Not really too sure what that's about. Scott Eckridge has just disappeared. His internet is gone, so Jeff Ward will be the control car for this restart, I do believe. Green flag is in the air. 35 cars now taking the green flag.
Yeah, what a dynamic. We were not expecting that at all, obviously, so hopefully he is able to situate that. But coming into turns number 1 and 2, 85 machine clears and will take the lead right now. Jeff Ward will fall back to second.
Drew Carroll had a big advantage starting on that inside line there. Now Jeff Ward was the control car, but man, did that help him out. He's running a little bit higher of a line now and down through turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, these lines will most certainly be varying here tonight, so we will see how these drivers do tackle the Texas Motor Speedway, but up front, single file for the first 4 or 5 positions, and quite the gap back to 5th.
Side by side, a little bit further back in the pack. A couple of guys going to be the 44, trying to gain a couple positions on a couple of guys up here.
That is Tom Gianni.
Yep.
Tom Gianni side by side with Steve Ritter coming off corner number 4. Ritter with the run to the outside. Looks like he will be able to clear for that position and hang on to the 10th spot, but Evan Black in the number 99 machine is lurking at the end of this battle of cars to see if he can get a spot.
Currently running in the 11th position. Tom Gianni up to the 10th position so far. A couple of guys in a battle for position behind them. One of them being the number 54 of Jordan Harnish back there and the number 24 of Alan Young. Yep. Oh, the 54 Harnish washed up the track, almost a wreck there. Now squeezes the 22 down to the bottom.
Here he comes on the bottom of the racetrack. That is Mark Emerson there. You can see he's kind of washing up over the bumps. Also is Harnish trying to get the run off of the corner. A little bit loose from both of those drivers down the back straightaway, but the 22 will get back into line.
Those guys will single out now heading back even further back at the back. The 14 machine riding up there onto the outside of those guys. It's going to be David Howard Jr. that singles out. Most of the field kind of single file now.
But up front, you can see here that the 85 of Drew Carroll has pulled away to a little bit of a lead. Nothing overly drastic at the moment. But you can see he is kind of washing up just a little bit more in these turns, and then Jeff Ward right around the white line. But it looks like Carroll is pulling away just by a few hundredths.
Now, Corey, I don't really know what to expect on the longer run here, other than the fact that these race cars are going to probably get fairly loose here and difficult to handle with for these guys.
Yeah, Texas Motor Speedway in the A car and the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup machine will most certainly wear the tires out, so you will not have what you would normally have here in the runs. You'll have to really maneuver that thing, be really easy on the throttle, and change your lines up.
Yeah, absolutely. We see a couple of guys already getting pretty loose. Jeff Ward with a great run down through the center of turns 1 and 2, down now heading down the back straightaway. Managed to gain a little bit of ground on your leader, Drew Carroll, that last time by. See if he can do it again down through turn 3 and 4. But
we still are, Brandon, in the latter end of the field. We still are racing rather competitively right now. You can see drivers such as Tyler Seville. We have Jim Foose in the 42. Everybody is nose to tail there. And we do have some side-by-side racing all the way back to the mid-20s. 76 machine, Jordan Miller, all the way to the apron in turn 1 and 2. He will gather control of that car and ride the apron to safety.
Wow.
We'll go
What
back on
save.
replay and try to see what happened to him.
It looks like he clipped the grass, Corey.
He was battling off a 4 side by side with the number 96 machine. That 96 machine was Josh Gallagher. Yes, he did. He got the tri-oval, the quad oval grass. He got it twice, got him sideways, and a masterful job to slow down and not slide up onto the banking.
What a save. Beautiful job by Jordan Miller.
But up front, here comes Jeff Ward. He is closing the gap on Carroll, has closed into within a car length.
Yeah, Drew Carroll, I noticed, Corey, is running a little bit higher of the line than what Jeff Ward is. Jeff Ward trying to pin to the car right to the the white line there, and as I say that, runs a little bit higher of a line that last time by, but it really does seem to be helping him, especially with his run on exit.
Yeah, most certainly. He's putting less emphasis on his corner entry and letting the car kind of dive up the track a little bit, and then cutting it to the bottom on corner entry, getting him that straight exit off the corner. That gives you those couple miles an hour down the straightaway.
So slowly but surely gaining on your leader is Jeff Ward. The 55 machine just kind of chilling out there. That's Brian Yazik behind those guys. Got a little bit of a gap between him and Jordan Ashland. Jordan Ashland back there in the 22nd, or in the number 27, back there in the fourth position, and back there in 5th is the 98 of Maxwell.
Yeah, right now Maxwell in the 98 machine, he is just lurking off the back bumper of the number 27 of Jordan Ashland right now. You can see Ashland kind of running a little bit higher groove. We will see that come into play more as the race progresses, but still, as I said, Brandon, a lot of hard-nosed racing in the mid-teens right now. We have Tyler Seville trying to get a look underneath Troy Haight in the 28 down the back straightaway. Jim Foose now actually under fire as well from the 63 of Tyler Seville in 1 and 2. And we have a car out very high on the track. That was the 97, Andy Veltman, running the Larson line almost into the wall in 3 and 4, but he does gather control. Seville clips the grass, almost got loose in similar fashion to the other driver we saw, but does manage to gain control of his vehicle.
That's one of the last things that I would have expected to be a common theme here tonight, Corey, is those guys going and clipping the inside grass.
Yeah, there are times with this car that the quad oval at some of these mile-and-a-halfs actually becomes the most difficult part of the track, and I feel like that already is becoming a thing for these drivers. But up front, we have a battle for the lead shaping up. Ward has got to the back bumper of Drew Carroll.
Jeff Ward running that slightly different line from Carroll. Now Carroll drifts way up the racetrack that last time by. Ward trying to slip underneath, heading down the front straightaway. Now the 85 out front, the 90 machine right behind him, heading down into turn number 1. Jeff Ward dives it down into the bottom of the racetrack, trying to get that run.
Ward right on the white line. That is going to make it a little bit harder for him on corner exit. You can see here that Carroll does pull away by a matter of a couple feet, but still Ward is stalking him and seems to be the faster car, but he does have to figure out how to get by.
Heading down off of turn number 4 now. Now you can see Ward ran a little bit higher up the racetrack that last time by on corner exit. He dives it down in, now running up a little bit higher of a line on corner entry. See what that does on exit. He did lose a little bit on entry, but look at that big run there on exit.
Yeah, here he comes. He's
looking down to the bottom.
He's going to take a look to the inside in corner number 3. Jeff Ward, very competitive driver this season, has led many a laps and has 3 wins. He's going to go for 4 tonight, showing his stuff. Jeff Ward to P1.
See if Drew Carroll will be able to get anything back. Doesn't look like he'll be able to. New leader, the number 9 machine, Jeff Ward.
So now let's see here, what kind of gap is he going to be able to get? We know how fast he is, but did he maybe use some of his stuff? Is he just that much faster? We're going to have to figure out what he's capable of doing.
So that rounds out that battle, I believe. Sam Maxwell, Corey, does look like he's starting to gain on the 27 of Ashland.
More so than gain, he's going for a pass right now. Ashland got really loose off the bumps in 1 and 2, sent him way up the track, opened the door for Maxwell, and move him into the 4th position.
Sam Maxwell having a pretty good run here so far tonight, now up to the 4th position.
Yeah, so right now your top 5 at the moment is Jeff Ward, Drew Carroll, Brian Yazik still lurking there in 3rd, and Maxwell freshly into the 4th position. Jordan Ashland still hanging on to 5th. That is your top 5, separated by about 2.5 seconds as we are 20 laps, about to be 20 laps into the race, all under the green flag.
Oh, Sam Maxwell, I thought he was going to get into the outside wall there. Huge wiggle down off of turn number 2 that last time by. What an amazing save.
Yeah, very good bit of driving here. This is the time in the race where the tires are starting to give out on these drivers, so it does not surprise me that they may be having some problems now as they are really kind of probably hanging on for dear life in those machines.
Unbelievable some of the amount that some of these guys are starting to get loose here, Corey, but man, oh man, these guys doing an awesome job so far. And now it looks like single file racing pretty much all the way around, but I do see some different lines come into effect.
Pit road, we already have a taker. All the way at the back of the all the way at the back of the field, it is Josh Sidden in the number 88 machine. I don't know if he has any damage. We can try to see very quickly. He does have some heavy right front damage on that 88 machine. So that obviously insinuated that pit stop a little bit earlier than for most, but we do have a battle going on around the 11th position right now. Evan Black is all over the back bumper of Steve Ritter. And look how high Evan Black is on the racetrack.
Man, oh man.
All the way up top, and look at the major run he's going to get off turn number 4. He's going to take it to the outside of Ritter down the front straightaway, and let's see if he can hang on.
Ritter got loose.
And you can see here from the long shot a little bit that a lot of other drivers are really taking it all the way to the top there. Evan Black will move into 10th, but we have a good battle going on. Ahead of that, we have Jared Haggerty in the 6th, the 72, Michael Krobik there side by side. 3 wide off turn number 4.
3 wide, oh, they're wrecking! Wrecking down the front stretch. The 72 through the grass sideways.
He's gonna go back onto the track.
Oh, he's coming back. Oh, big hit. The 97, the 24.
That's gonna.
No more cars involved.
Oh no. We'll go back on.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that was just a wreck. It was a great bit of driving that just obviously turned wrong in a heartbeat. So you can see here on the blimp cam, they're
nothing
3 wide.
He could do.
00 Mogard slightly in the wall, but it was more of the 6 kind of coming down into Krobik, and then he came back onto the racetrack, obviously in no control of his vehicle, and nothing those drivers could be doing.
Krobik had his car locked down coming onto the racetrack. Unfortunately, once you get into the grass, there's really nothing that you can do. And Yeah, he came right up in front of traffic. The 24 of Alan Young.
Yeah, we're
Heavy
on board with
contact.
Alan Young right now, and you can see what he saw, which was ouch. I don't know any other way to describe that. That was just ouch.
Alan Young takes his car behind the wall. He is done for the night. I imagine the 72 machine probably also done for the night.
We will have first visits to pit road of the night on lap number 24, taking lap number 25. Jeff Ward on pit lane right now, leading the charge down, and we will see who does win the race off pit road. We do have one person who has remained on the speedway. That is Mark Cohn in the 75, assuming that is at least for a bonus point. See here as everyone is on the jacks here, getting their tires changed. Who is going to get the battle off of pit road? Looks like Jeff Ward will take the contest. But remaining on the speedway is the 75 of Mark Cohn. So assuming that this is a maneuver for to get a point, because I cannot really, and actually,
yeah, I wouldn't expect them to stay out.
yeah, I can't imagine with the tire fall off that we would be enduring that would be a call that you'd want to make, so. Yep, he does come down pit road, so this will shuffle the lineup back to the number 90 of Jeff Ward, who didn't open the race on the fastest of notes, but was able to as the tires wore, as Carroll kind of lost a little bit of the handle on that machine. He was able to take the lead and was just starting to pull away.
So a couple of guys gonna aim to get the wave around here. It's like Michael Krobach also taking his car behind the wall. His night will be done after that hard wreck.
Yeah, we do not have in this league, we do not have backup. Yeah, for some reason could not put those words together in a sentence. We do not have backup cars available. We do not have quick repairs, fast repairs, what have you. So once your machine is done, you will back up the hauler and you'll come back next week. Lights are out on the pace car, so as those wave around, speed around the track to get caught back up with the leaders, everybody else doubles up and gets ready to go racing, as will be on lap number 28. Ward will be to the inside, Carroll will be to the outside. You already can see here on the iRacing dynamic track that track really is starting to take rubber, and we already did see how erratically some of the lines have been changing, some drivers all the way up to the wall. So it'll be interesting to see on this start which lane will prevail, who will have the advantage. But here we come through 3 and 4, Brandon, let's take it away.
Pace car ready to make its way down into the pit lane. The iRacing official pace car, and the field in the hands of Jeff Ward. This time, once again, Jeff Ward now onto the bottom of the racetrack. Pace car makes its way down in. Jeff Ward on the throttle. We're green flag racing once again.
Here we are through the quad oval here at Texas Motor Speedway, and the number 90 out to a huge gap already, so very good news for him. But the battle is side by side. Sam Maxwell trying to get to the outside of the 55 of Yazik, opens the door for Mogard in the 00 on the inside.
Yep, trying to make his way down through. Now, Jared Mogard in that 00 machine, trying to gain another position. He moves up to the 4th position from Sam Maxwell. Now his eyes set on Brian Yosik in the 55 machine.
And then up front, you can see already Carroll only one, especially on these newer tires. I would have expected everyone to stay right around the bottom, but Carroll really using that high groove early in the run. Didn't look like it really did anything for him. Here comes Yosik with a look to the inside.
The 85 machine drifts up the racetrack. He may have a good run on corner exit, however, and that he does. Brian Yosik not quite able to get there.
Yeah, so maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe that outside already is working on these newer tires, allowing that runoff corner exit still. You can see Carroll, the only one who's deviating off of the white line, but we'll see what it does off corner number 2. Didn't look like it really worked for him that time.
Now lost a little bit of ground that last time by. Now gonna try it again down through turns 3 and 4. Brian Yosik trying to get underneath him, but it looks like
nearly in the
Carroll
fence.
up at the outside wall a little bit.
If he wasn't, he missed it by about a paper clip's width there, so he's going to really have to be careful with that. A lot of laps left. You do not want to get damage to the car this early in the race.
Looks like Brian Yosik still going to try to fight for that position. Meanwhile, Jared Mogard trying to hunt those guys down. Still way up the racetrack goes the 85 of Carroll Yosik down underneath.
And still, he's not getting he is obviously getting the run off corner exit, but he's not getting enough of a run to really warrant any advantage up there at the moment. So a little nervous for him doing that while everyone else is still on the bottom, but if that's what he's comfortable doing, he's obviously got to keep doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. He hasn't lost any positions through it, and Yosik just can't seem to get under him, so Drew Carroll gonna keep doing what he's doing, and maybe it'll work out for him for the rest of the run. Now, starting to gain to the back bumper of the number 90 machine.
Jordan Harnish starting in the 54, just made a pass on Evan Black. That is for the 10th position, as there's a battle on the speedway there. Looks like there may be a little bit of a battle shaping up further in the pack. Actually, here comes the 28 of Troy Haight to the inside of the 99 machine, so 99 not headed in the positive direction, but here comes Troy Haight. Kind of washed up the track, didn't get the run through the center of the turn, but still able to complete the pass.
So Evan Black back to the 12th position now. Now, kind of singled out once again, Corey. I expect this to be a common theme, at least for through this part of the run, until tires get, a little bit of use out of them.
Yeah, but it does look like at the moment someone is trying to shake up the single file brigade. That is the number 27 of Jordan Ashland. He was right to the back bumper of Sam Maxwell, but off of 3 and 4 down the front straightaway, did manage to lose some time. But most certainly, once this race does carry on and we get into a rhythm, you're really going to see who is better at conserving what they have on their machine, and who maybe is only good at the short runs.
So looks like there's some pretty good racing going on towards the back of the pack. At least there was. Tyler Seville in the 63 machine versus the 14 machine back there. 63 also trying to get a back in this thing, piece of the action.
Yeah, here comes the 14, David Howard Jr. He is taking a look underneath the number 64 machine. That is of Lee Staples. This is at the end of the top 20 in the 19th and 18th positions. But it looks like that battle has fizzled out just a little bit, but we go a couple further positions back. It was Steve Buhala was onto the inside of Mark Cohn in the 75. Again, that battle has fizzled out, but these are nose to tail positions here. As you can see now, everyone moves off the yellow line. Where do they go? They move about a lane and a half up the track.
So that battle singles out now.
And then up front, a little bit further ahead, I have John Kennedy. He is right behind Nick Curling here, as both of them are trying to get by Jim Foose. Looks like Curling in the 62 is actually trying to go around the outside. As I say that, he goes to the inside, opening the door for Kennedy to go to the outside. Through the bumps here, you can see those cars bumping all over the bumps, but Here we come off turn number 2, 62 to the inside of Foose.
Nowhere for Kennedy to go. He kind of gets boxed in between those two cars and the wall. Now going to take it to the very outside, all the way to the very tippy top of the second groove there.
Yeah, here comes Kennedy kind of working. He's just trying to go wherever he predicts the run is going to be, and at the moment he really hasn't found it. He's going to go all the way to the top yet again as Curling is underneath. Are they going to go 3 wide off corner number 2? That's not going to work, and I think Kennedy thought better of it.
Little bit of a bump to the back bumper of Jim Foose. Man, oh man.
Here comes Kennedy off on the rear deck lid of Foose. You can see off corner number 4 with the power run. 89 sneaks himself into that slight lane that was available, but I think he checked up out of avoidance and lost the run. Is going to have to get it back. Here he comes off corner number 2 down the back straightaway. Foose, I think, just lets him go there, wants to get back in the line. So move Kennedy, John Kennedy, up to the 15th position. As there is a slow driver, that is Josh Sidden in the number 88. We already saw issue with him. He is slow rolling the apron here. I think he may be calling it a day. He's 4 laps down.
The 54 Jordan Harness trying to get around Steve Ritter on the outside now, just within the top 10, the latter half of the top 10 now. 54 gets really loose down off of turn number 2 that last time by. Now heading into turn number 3, almost 4 cars under a blanket. On
board Jordan Harnish, who is following this battle. You can really hear how much he is off the throttle here as we pull up his telemetry. He's right behind Ritter here, gets to about 190 in the corner, on the straightaway rather, and all the way down to about 148 miles an hour. Really feathering the throttle. You could hear him getting loose, fighting the wheel off corner number 2, all the while losing time to that battle in front of him.
Evan Black starting to make his way into the picture as well. Evan Black running almost up to the wall there, down through turns 3 and 4.
He is most certainly doing that. He must have practiced that line perhaps and maybe realize that, hey, it does work, so let me take a stab at it.
Looks like he's running kind of, oh boy, 16, really loose down there.
Steve, 6, Jared Haggerty.
Sideways, big impact.
Jared Haggerty.
Caution flag. Oh, more cars pile in, 64, 63.
That wreck had about 6 different components to it, it seemed, but it did stem.
I don't know what happened.
Neither do I, which is why we have an instant replay system. So let's go back together and try to figure out. It did look like there, Haggerty just, we gotta go back a little bit further, but I do believe it. He was on the outside of, I want to say that's Steve Ritter, and Ritter got the apron, but he just got loose. And then just...
Yeah, he got loose by himself up to the outside wall. Big impacts there.
Into Tom Gianni, into Curling in the 62. There's John Kennedy.
Big impact.
And then everybody else behind that kind of just...
Big impact between the 62 and I couldn't quite tell who else that was up there.
Yeah, so
man, oh man.
Bald open. The 64 gets in there. Tyler Seville having to make some evasive maneuvers. So a very dynamic wreck that we saw there, but regardless of that, we have pit stops. Number 70 machine, remember Scott Eckrich, who was the pole sitter and had those issues earlier in the race with his internet connection, was not able to start the race from the pole. You see the terminal damage he's equipped to that machine, so a good day turned horrible for that number 70 machine, but the race off pit road will go to Jeff Ward. Jordan Miller being scored as the leader for the time being, but the loop obviously has to clear, so that is the pit stop race. We will step away for a brief moment here, be back with you for the restart here. So again, stay with us here on PTR TV.
I grew up in Northern California. My parents were just really big race fans and took my sister and I to, sprint car races pretty much every Friday and Saturday night. So I did outlaw kart racing from 7 till I was 14. And then that's when I got into 360 and 410 wing sprint cars. There's just something about
I like that side by side. Okay.
I said whenever you're ready.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
Got a little bit of behind the scenes banter there as we had a lot of miscommunication in the booth, but
I didn't get the word. I'm not really paying attention when it comes down to that, but we're ready for the restart here. 90 machine Jeff Ward ready to get on the throttle. He's on the gas. Green flag back in the air. Great jump from him. Brian Yazik falling back off the restart.
yes, he did. Here he comes into turn number 1. Yazik to the outside. That's where you want to be these days, it seems like, with the track, but it looks like he will not get the run. As we know, Carroll has been really good on the outside. He will clear for the spot, and let's see what happens in turn 3.
Heading down to those guys. Jared Mogart on the outside trying to hold on to that fourth position back there, and that he does. Jeff Ward out front of this thing once again. Seems to be better once the tires start to wear down, Corey.
Yeah, and now that he's in the lead, he kind of doesn't really even have to fight that battle. He can just do what he wants, because it doesn't seem like anybody's going to be able to get by him, but it looks like Mogard in the 00, he is the closest he's been to his competition up there, so he is trying to see if he can make something happen with the 55 of Yazik, who is also trying to make something happen and see if he can get a look to the inside of Drew Carroll.
Brian Yazik trying to go for that second position once again. He's on the inside of the 85 machine, down through turns 1 and 2. Heading down, it looks like he's going to clear down on a turn number 2.
Yeah, it does look like that is going to be the case. Here we come down the back straightaway into turn number 3.
Jared Mogard looking to the outside of Drew Carroll this time.
All the way to the top of the racetrack. It looks like that may actually cost him a spot, because the 27 of Jordan Ashland is right there ready to party, trying to get the 4th spot. If anything happens, he's going to run the same exact line as Mogard all the way to the top of the track. And watch out, because Sam Maxwell is not too far behind this.
Close quarters racing, almost a little bit of contact between the 00 and the 85 that last time by. Now Jared Mogard looking to the outside once again.
He's going to look to the outside and slightly open the door for the 27 of Ashland, but I don't think he'll be able to with the momentum that outside line does carry. So those positions will fizzle out just for now. See, a little bit of a gap has developed back to Troy Haight, as Sam Maxwell is the last car in this train. Takes us about a second and a half back to Troy Haight in the 28.
Hey, that kind of rhymed.
A little bit. Here comes the 27 of Ashland to the inside of Mogard off of corner number 4. But again, Mogard with the momentum up top will prevail and hold on for now.
Things kind of settled out there other than a little bit of, in and out on corner entry there. But Sam Maxwell, now looked like Ashland got really loose. Sam Maxwell trying to make a move on him. Ashland gonna dodge it down into turn number 3.
Yes, he will. You can see Mogard actually really got a good run that time by. He's closing back to the bumper of Drew Carroll, who has not managed to do anything with Yazik, but Yazik has dropped about 3 or 4 car lengths off of your leader of Jeff Ward. We'll go to other battles on the speedway right now. We focused on the 99 a lot tonight, not so much, but coincidentally, as he's been in a lot of battles tonight.
Oh boy! Almost involved in a wreck right there.
I'll tell you, that 99 machine, he is the PTR car, but he's been in around a lot of action tonight. Huge situation with Mark Emerson getting loose off corner number 2. Again, John Kennedy is looking to the outside of Black, and also right behind him is 75 Mark Cohn.
That kind of settles out now as the 22 machine almost went for a spill and collected the 99 and possibly the 89 with him. I've seen him getting loose quite a bit tonight, along with a couple of other drivers in that mix as well. Now battle back there between the 89. The 89 got really loose, now getting passed up by the 75 and the 14. Side by side, heading down into turn number 1 is the 89, the 14. Maybe gonna make it 3 wide, thinking twice about it. Trying to get behind the 75 machine.
Yeah, that's the 89. We could tell he is really one that want to make the top of the racetrack work. He's going all the way up there to the 3rd lane, sometimes even higher. We'll see if he's able to get that monster run off corner number 4. If the monster kind of was in check there just a little bit, he does not get the run.
So those guys single out now heading down through turns 20 and 2. Little bit of a battle going on behind them. The 96 and the 2 machine fighting it out here now. Now, this is for the 15th or 16th position, I do believe. Oh, the 2 machine disappears.
Yeah, the battle is for exactly those 2 positions right now. It is Callaway, it is Gallagher as they try to get by the slower machine there to the inside of the racetrack. Can't quite tell who that was, but that was a very close call by that driver who is just trying to turn some laps right now, but still this battle does carry on.
So those guys, oh boy, look like one of those cars ended up into the wall. I believe it was the 96.
Yeah, some minimal damage there to the 96, but nothing of overly concern at the moment. But Brandon, I think this is a good chance for us to maybe go through the field a little bit. So right now up front is Jeff Ward, who has led a very good portion, a very long portion of this race. He's led 42 of the 59 laps. He is your leader. And Brian Yazik running in 2nd. We have Drew Carroll running in 3rd. We actually have a battle going on for 4th and 5th as we speak. It looks like Mogard will be in 4th for the moment. Actually, he was passing somebody else, so don't mind me. In 5th, we have Jordan Ashland. 6th is Sam Maxwell. 7th is Troy Haight. 8th, we have Steve Ritter. 9th, we have Jordan Harnish. And then rounding out your top 10 is Mark Emerson. In the 11th spot, we have Evan Black. Mark Cohn is in 12th. John Kennedy in 13th. David Howard Jr. in 14th. Zach Callaway in 15th. Josh Gallagher in 16th. Tyler Seville 17th. 18th, Jim Foose. John Music in the 19th spot. And then Tim Nutt rounding out your top 20. Rounding up the cars that are still on the racetrack, Jason Stewart, Jordan Miller, Andrew Garrels, Tom Gianni, Nick Curling in 25th. Scott Haller in 26th. Mitch Brown in 27th, Steve Buhala 28th, Jared Haggerty in the 29th spot, and the last car of the drivers still on the racetrack right now, Andy Veltman in 32nd.
Also, Corey, while we have a moment, I believe we may have something to announce for Monday nights coming up in the future.
Yes, we do have a new league joining the PTR family. The Integrity Racing League will be joining us Monday nights. We also do have the Racer's Mind kind of podcast show that we do, so it's going to be a double duty, a lot of action going on Monday nights here on PTR TV. Also a lot of action going on for the second position right now.
Yeah, side by side is the 55 and the 85. Drew Carroll taking away that second position, the second position from Jacek.
Yeah, so Carroll kind of dropped back on the first run, but maybe has a little bit more long run pace left in that machine on this run. But as I was saying, Brandon, Monday night is going to be a busy night here on PTR TV. We are going to be covering our Monday night show as well as that new league, so it should be a good time here on the channel.
Yeah, absolutely. The Integrity Racing League just picked them up, so that'll be awesome double duty Monday nights, as Corey was saying. And
I'm looking at, again, not trying to focus on the PTR TV car. I'm just saying he has been around a lot of stuff today as the 22 death wiggle through the quad oval that time by. And look at Evan Black. Evan, I'm going to call him Evan Larson right now. He is the highest person on the speedway, so I'm going to follow him on the onboard right now.
Oh boy, cars getting loose all around him.
Assuming Harnish doesn't throw out a caution because he was sideways. And of course, because I'm following Evan Black because I was going to run the high groove, what does he do? He doesn't run the high groove. Broadcaster's curse.
Well, he has a car right in front of him that he seems to be faster than. But trying to find a way around him is the harder part.
Here he comes all the way. Oh, with those bumps, I would never consider running that groove. Ever. Because I know how bumpy the Texas Motor Speedway is, especially up top. So that takes a lot more guts than I possess in my elder years.
And you notice he's trying to cut it down off the corner, Corey. I think that's a way to try to avoid some of those bumps up there.
It is, and it also does contribute to you being able to get the run off of the corners and get that straighter edge, which will also kind of save the tires at the same time. So it's kind of a double-edged strategy, and he will use that run. Try to get by Mark Emerson. This is for the 9th position. All the way to the bottom of the speedway is the number 99 machine. Emerson near the wall, coming off of corner exit. Will he try to go for the slide job? He will not. Had to check up, and you could see how much time he lost to Emerson.
Yeah, very, very loose there down off of turn number 4 that last time. Battle behind them. 3 cars under a blanket. Now the 1454 into the 89. All fighting for position back there.
Yeah, that is Howard Jr., that is Harnish, and that is behind them John Kennedy. And into the wall is the 54 through the
sideways.
grass.
Taking a spill through the grass.
No caution.
Not going to bring out a caution, I don't believe.
Is he going to go? Yeah, so far, no harm, no foul. But a ton of track position loss. Let's go back on replay. See what happened to the 54 machine. See, he just got into the turn 4 wall there and just lost it through the quad oval grass, and it was not enough for the iRacing pace car to come back onto the speedway, so we continue green flag racing, and Jeff Ward now putting him a lap down.
Yeah, so look at Evan Black. Look at the time that he gains back. He's right back on the back bump of the 22 machine once again, trying to find a way around him.
Nearly into the fence off of the corner there was Emerson, but this is Evan Black gaining the positions, or gaining the time rather. He's running the bottom of the racetrack, which we know does not work as well at this point in the race, but he's trying to clear off the corner and just cannot seem to do it, and will fall back in line.
So I imagine that it has got to be so frustrating to be behind a car that you are faster than, but just cannot get around, Corey. I mean, I know what it's like being in that situation. I'm sure you do too as a driver. It's just, it's one of the most frustrating things that you can come about, especially with the conditions of this racetrack and how loose everything is. All it takes is one wrong move and you've lost 2 more positions.
Yeah, that is definitely the case. Sometimes you have to avoid making a pass because even though you think you're the better driver, you know that making that pass might actually work to your detriment and you may lose a position trying to gain one.
So almost contact that there between the 14 and the 89 machine. The 14 got really loose down through the center of the corner, and the 89 almost had nowhere to go. Very, very good keeping their heads on their shoulders there with that one and managing to avoid disaster.
Yeah, and again, the 22 nearly in the fence again off of the corner. He is really on ragged edge, it does seem, at this point in the race.
You can see his car wiggling through the corners, Corey. That's not the type of race car you want to be driving out here in these conditions. He's on the edge all the way through the corner and on exit. That car looks like it's a beast to control.
On board with him, and you can kind of see what he is fighting now. As you can see in his rearview mirror, Evan Black looking to the outside, but doesn't have it this time by. A little bit of a wiggle off of the corner as he tries to regain control of that machine. And into turn number 1, he's trying to be smooth and methodical, but having to watch that 99 in his mirror. And you can see the big wiggle.
Oh, Evan Black almost up. If he didn't hit the wall, it was close, trying to avoid the 22.
Yeah,
How many times has that happened so far tonight, Corey?
He was trying to get the run off of the corner, and he was so nervous with the wiggle from the 22 that he was not able. He had to back off to avoid a potential incident, as we do have drivers on pit road. Drew Carroll on pit lane right now.
Jared Mogart just coming off of pit lane. And these guys all starting to be on the edge of control now, so trying their best.
But Brandon, one thing that we need to bring up that we didn't really bring up as we were watching all that good racing, tire fall off is about 2 seconds right now. So every lap that Ward and company stays on the racetrack, caution!
Caution on the speedway! Oh man, oh man!
Trying to find, oh, it is the 18 of Mitch Brown. We'll go
Those guys that stayed out are looking like superheroes right now as the 18 hits the wall head on, heavy impact to the outside wall down the backstretch for Mitch Brown.
But yeah, he was just into the turn 4 wall, and then once he hit the wall, just fishtailed down the entire straightaway. Scott Holler in the 5.
Man.
How he missed that is beyond me.
Heads up move by the 5 machine.
Kind of want to go back and watch that from his perspective, as Scott Holler really had one opportunity, and he had to, oh my goodness. That is the insert sponsor here, good move of the race award there by Scott Holler for missing that event right there. Insert your company name here. But here we come
Krutz
off.
Custom Graphics.
But here we come into the Texas Motor Speedway pit lane, and this will, as you said, Brandon, shake things up, as we had a couple drivers, especially Drew Carroll, already coming to the attention of their crews.
So Jeff Ward, Jordan Ashland, Sam Maxwell, guys like that, they're all looking like superheroes right now, staying out and just waiting for that caution. And they got it.
Yeah, so we'll see how that does shake out in terms of how this is going to affect the wave arounds and who is a lap down, lucky dogs, all that kind of situation. We'll sort that for you once everything sorts through the timing loops. Here we come here. So it looks like as we're going to watch this cycle through, trying to find Drew Carroll on the racetrack now, and he is being scored on the lead lap. So it did look like that he is going to be in the 14th position, so he did not, even though he already pitted, didn't look like he was at too much of a detriment there compared to everybody else. So this may work out okay for him. The question I have is I have to wait for Jared Mogard to clear through the scoring loop. And oh, actually Mogard, we can visually see he is on the tail end of the lead lap right now. So he will have to get the wave around where Drew Carroll, I believe, was able to get the lucky dog and will carry on that one, which will obviously put him in a better position.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as will a few other guys that are having to get the wave around here. So, Corey, I think this has happened quite a few times. A caution when we least expected it.
Yeah, especially, it's something that you expect, but you don't expect at the same time. Where I'm going to say that in the sense of, we had a long green flag run. We were at green flag stop, so the field was, other than that battle with Evan Black and a few other drivers, was pretty well spread out. But on that same token, those drivers were dealing with the hardest handling conditions they've had all night. So if we were to have a wreck, that is going to be when it would happen.
And might I just remind you that this race is ticking by really fast. So those guys that are having to get waved around, they're not going to have as much time as they would like to get their way to the front of the field, as these guys are doubled up and ready to get back green flag racing here.
Yeah, 53 laps should be under green flag conditions. Will be about 25 minutes of racing, so this race will not, under green flag conditions, take very long, but we'll see how that indeed plays out. Jeff Ward to the inside, Sam Maxwell on the outside of the front row for this restart. Row 2, we have Jordan Ashland and Evan Black, highest position he's been all night.
So these guys tucked away behind the iRacing official pace car. It'll be making its way down into pit lane. Jeff Ward, the control car. Sam Maxwell to his outside on the throttle once again. Green flag is back in the air. Evan Black jumps up to the third position right behind Sam Maxwell. Now has company from the 27 of Jordan Ashland. Heading down through turns 1 and 2. Now the 90 of Ward way out front of this thing as Ashland gets really loose down off of turn number 2.
Into turn number 3 we go. They're still side by side. John Kennedy to the bottom. 27 of Ashland all the way up top by him is Lonesome up there. Well, let's see if he can get the run nearly into the fence. Didn't have any real estate to spare off turn number 4, but down the front straightaway, he's going to be side by side with the 99 machine.
Heading down into turns number 1 and 2. Now heading down out of turn number 2. Side by side for that third position. Back there, Jordan Ashland will walk away with that. Now here comes the number 89 machine coming up to take the 4th position away. The 14 right back there as well.
Yeah, this has allowed, that caution has allowed the field to shake up a little bit. So drivers we saw maybe at the latter end of the top 10, maybe in the early teens, find themselves in significantly better track position at the moment. As we see, the 27 is all over the back of Sam Maxwell, the number 98 machine. Down the back straightaway they go. Looks like that 27 wants to go somewhere.
Yeah, he wants to move up to the 2nd position, see if he can have a shot at the lead here very shortly. Jordan Ashland showing some really good speed in that race car here tonight, but so is Sam Maxwell. Sam Maxwell has been hanging around the top 5 all night tonight, and he's had a really good race car as well, so let's see if he can do it to hold off.
Yeah, I don't think he got through the bumps as well through 1 and 2 that time in comparison to the number 27 machine. Allowed that gap to eliminate just a little bit, as there's a lot of shaking down the back straightaway. But it looks like 27 may have lost a little bit of time. Let's see if he can get it back on corner exit. It doesn't look like he will at the moment.
And Corey, we know that high side can work here now, and maybe something that these guys will start to utilize a little bit more, even on the newer tires.
Yeah, they already are moving to the track very, very early in the race. Zach Calloway to the outside of Tyler Seville in the 63, entering turn number 3. You can see the 63 kind of running a middle, probably the second lane there, cuts to the bottom, and that will allow that to go back to single file formation.
Ashland underneath the 98 of Sam Maxwell now. He ran the higher line that last time around, now easily getting past the 98 machine. Sam Maxwell maybe going to try for a crossover, see if he can have the momentum down off of turn number 2. Not going to get there. Move Jordan Ashland to second position.
And watch out, John Kennedy is right here lurking behind this. He's going to try to see what he could do as he's going to look to the outside of Maxwell. This is through corner number 4 onto the Texas Motor Speedway front straightaway. He will be within a car length of Maxwell, and let's see what happens in 1 and 2.
Opting to take that higher line, maybe gonna try to use the momentum down off of turn number 2. Now heading down the back straightaway, the 89 machine looking to make a move, not quite gonna get there in time.
Not quite, as Maxwell still persistent to stay right on the white line, and Kennedy about 2 lanes up the track. We'll see what happens off of the corner if that 89 does have that speed boost with the top line, but it looked like Maxwell did a pretty good job on the bottom that lap.
Yeah, I think that the toughest part about that higher line, Corey, is those bumps up there. It's something that really, you gotta try to work around.
We do have Drew Carroll. Remember, he was stuck on pit road when that caution came out, has got himself into the top 10. He is underneath Mark Cohn in the 75, has already managed to get by Zach Calloway and Tyler Seville. Down the front straightaway, the 85 trying to make it happen. He's going to try to dive below Evan Black, go 2 for 1.
Almost went 3 wide down. Now it is 3 wide down through turn number 2. Contact. Drew Carroll around, now collects the 99, Evan Black. Hard impact, almost upside down goes the 99.
And Drew Carroll into the...
heavy impact. Heavy impact there once again.
Drew Carroll got the after effects of that and was able to take somebody else out in the process. We'll go back here on replay. You can see that the contact with the 99 turns him into, I believe that was Mark Cohn. But then Drew Carroll turns right into the track, and that's the 96 of Josh Gallagher that just, again, completely blindsided, had nowhere to go, and that was just another bad break. We saw that happen to somebody else, and go on board with Gallagher and see his unfortunate perspective. And boom, nothing you're really doing about that one.
No, they were 3 wide, and I don't know if Carroll just didn't realize it, but he came way up the racetrack, like the 99 was going to move up the racetrack for him, and there was just no room for error there. And around went the 85, and unfortunately he got launched back into the 99.
Yep. So we are on pit road here today with about 43 laps to go, 42 laps to go approximately, if I could do mathematics. And into the pit box is everybody, and we'll see what happens here. This is turning into the money stops, because any position that you can gain on pit road is an easier spot than to gain on the racetrack, and doesn't look like Ward's going to have any competition again. But again, Brandon, well, not again, I haven't brought up this point yet. We follow our Thursday league, the Rivalry Racing League, and we've kind of seen a little bit of who is going to be the guy to follow. We've seen a lot of races dominated by a particular driver, and I think in this, at least in the Cup Series end of ASRS, I think we're starting to find out who the guy is going to be.
Yeah, I believe so as well. I mean, looking at Jeff Ward, the amount of laps that he's led, and the races that he's won is just unbelievable performance by him.
And the competition in this league is extremely high, Corey.
Yeah, this is by no means a walk in the park every week where he's just out and just really just driving into the sunset, but he makes it look like that. He's already won 3 races, so he's already won 50% of the races in the Cup Series this year so far. He's led almost 300 laps. After today, he will have led well over 300 laps. Only other driver to be in that kind of position is Nicholas Cohan, but he's only been part-time in the series, so really, Jeff Ward, he is going to be your contender. These guys are going to have to put up some extra practice laps, maybe unite together as teams and try to figure out what he's doing.
Would like to take the time to thank everybody for liking and subscribing. Gained a couple extra subscribers just tonight here, and notice we have a few dislikes, but that's okay. Still helps out the activity of our channel, so we'll appreciate those just as much.
If you're going to dislike the video, at least dislike it while watching the video. Don't do it beforehand.
Yeah, four of those came before we even started broadcasting tonight, so oh well. But hey, it helps out the activity of our channel, so
you win some, you
thank
lose
you.
some.
But yeah, we do appreciate everyone's support here tonight, as every night here on PTR TV. And once again, if you want to see our weekly schedule for broadcasting, check us out and check out our schedule at primetimeracing.tv.
We still have some big announcements that we want to announce so badly, and we're 99.99% sure they're good, but we gotta confirm them. So we do have some big news here approaching the channel. We'll be working with some new partners, which will help increase the content to a lot more people. We'll say that very generically. So that is going to be exciting news, and we have some more PTR special events planned in terms of, we used to have our Clash, which went very well. We have some stuff up our sleeve as well. So again, stay tuned to the channel for all that information, but stay tuned because we have 40 coming to 39 laps to go. We have a restart. We have Jordan Ashland to the outside, and Jeff Ward still your leader.
These guys rolling down behind the iRacing official pace car. That iRacing pace car will be making its way down into pit lane. This time by, there it goes, waiting for your leader. Get back on the throttle. Off he goes. Green flag back in the air.
Again, with the huge jump goes the number 90 machine. But into turn number 1 rather. Ashland with a clear advantage in a second spot. Looks like the top 5 will fizzle out single file, and you can see here about the 8th position. We have some battling still going on.
So, yeah, Jeff Ward kind of pulls away from the rest of these guys. Sam Maxwell trying to look underneath the 22 machine. Not going to happen now. Here comes Brian Yasek in the 55.
Yasek in the 55 has been lingering in the top 5 for the majority of the day. He is looking to the inside of Maxwell, trying to regain and control the 4th position here on the speedway. But they will still remain actually side by side down the back straightaway, but it looks like it will go to Yasek in 3. And what do I see up front? Do I see a battle for the lead shaking up? 27 of Ashland has done a masterful job on these couple laps at the very least, and is staying with Jeff Ward. Finally, someone putting the pressure on that number 90.
Yeah, absolutely. Jordan Ashland, I noticed he's had some serious speed in that race car here tonight, and maybe be able to fight for a lead.
Yeah, he's doing his very best. He is stalking the number 90's back bumper, that Loud Pedal Motorsports Chevy SS of Jeff Ward, but Ward is able to get a little bit better run off of 4 into the front straightaway. But look at the line difference. Look at Ashland running that second groove. We'll see if he's able to get that launch off the corner.
Jordan Ashland trying to run that higher line now goes up to the second groove this time around, trying to get the momentum on corner exit.
He's all the way up there to the top of the rubbered part of the racetrack, trying to get that clean, colder asphalt, and it's working. He's to the outside, side-by-side battle for the lead, 35 laps to go. 2x2s right next to each other, trying to fight down through turns 1 and 2. Now,
The 27 should have the momentum off. Now new leader, the 27, Jordan Ashland.
So let's see here. Is Ashland driving too hard? Is he burning up his stuff? Is Ward racing methodically? Or have we found a new fastest driver of the race?
I don't know. Ashland could just be burning through his stuff, but he should have been showing this speed pretty much all night, Corey. He could have a race-winning car.
But there's still 34 laps to go. That is nearly the equivalent of an entire tire run, so something that we will have to take note of. But a gaggle of cars at the latter half of the top 10. Sean Music has got himself up to the 8th position. He is battling underneath, I believe that to be the number 19 of Andrew Garrels. Music has cleared for the spot, but the 19 is under fire, and he has a side-by-side battle behind him, if I could speak that. That is Zach Calloway and Troy Haight.
Heading down the back straightaway down into turn number 3. Looks like those cars, the 22 machine, drifts up the racetrack a little bit. Here comes Mogard trying to fight for position.
Yeah, that battle has ceased, but they are still going on here side by side with that battle at the latter half of the top 10. We have 6 drivers under our blanket, including John Kennedy, who has been up there quite a bit, battling in the top 5. He's trying to get himself back into the top 10 as Garrels in the 19 nearly into the fence there off the corner. Big wiggle from John Kennedy down the back straightaway as well.
Yep, so those guys all trying to fight. With gaggle of cars back here, John Kennedy up in the 89 machine trying to find a way around the 29 still, or the 28 rather.
All the while we have another battle going up front. It looks like on the outside that Kennedy will be able to gain that battle, but we did see Mogard. I don't know who was in front, but they were side by side. Looks like
it was Mogard and Yazik. Yazik trying to kind of pulling away now.
But Mogard was about to lose a spot to Mark Emerson. That was the battle I was seeing on the screen, but looks like Emerson has lost that ground for the time being, but still there's some heavy duty battling going on there. Troy Haight now has David Howard Jr. to his outside. And David Howard Jr. in the 14 is to the outside still of Troy Haight off the corner, trying to get the run off of 2 down the back straightaway here at Texas Motor Speedway. It looks like the 28 will get the run to the inside in corner number 3. He'll run the middle of the track, trying to still keep some momentum, but he will hit the white line there. That'll kill his momentum and give the position to the 14.
Potential battle for the lead once again. Ashland is kind of falling back into the hands of Jeff Ward once again, Corey.
And who else is that? We have a 55 car, Brian Yazik. Again, he's been in the top 5 this whole race, but he hasn't been up here for the lead. But here comes Ward trying to stalk the white line at Texas, trying to see if he can hold it down there. And he was not able to do so with any kind of successful momentum, so that will give Ashland still some breathing room.
3 cars under a blanket now. Brian Yazik joining the action for the battle for the lead. Now side by side down the back straightaway for P1.
Here they go into the corner. All the way to the bottom of the racetrack is the number 90 machine. He will be able to get the spot and slide up in front of the 27. So the 27 was able to lead a few laps, but a few not too many, because he will fall back into the 2nd position and will fall into the clutches of Yazik.
So Jeff Ward reclaims the lead, but here comes Jordan Ashland. He had a little bit of a run there, but Brian Yazik right to his back bumper. Now diving underneath them, going to be side by side down into turn number 3.
There they are, and this was exactly what Ward wants to see, because it's going to allow him to pull away that much further. He will pull away to about 0.4 of a second now, and Ashland doing everything he can to hang on to this position.
Close quarters racing now heading down through turns 1 and 2. Brian Yazik trying to fight for that 2nd position, will barely clear down off of turn number 2.
He will, but now does he have anything to be able to get to Jeff Ward in the 90? We know that Ward may have saved his tires better than anybody else, but this is the time you have to use it. 26 coming to 25 laps to go. Whatever you have, you don't really have a choice but to use it now.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is the question, Corey. What do these guys have left? Caution!
Well, take back everything I just said.
Yeah.
Sean Music in the 1. We were just talking about him gaining some time there, getting back into the top 15, getting back to the top 10, and that was all for naught as something happened to him. Let's go back and see. He is battling with the 18, I believe that is.
Looks like contact with a 16 machine
16 of Steve Ritter. So some slow contact there to slowly put him up the track. You can see a little bit of contact from other drivers. Troy Haight, I believe.
Oh, collected the 28 and the 63 in that as well.
Yeah, I think Haight was kind of stuck there not knowing where to go as he saw that slow spin in front of him, and he's up the racetrack right there, and Troy Haight and Tyler Seville kind of door each other. Tim Knott kind of getting a little bit of residual contact from that as well. But we're going to come to pit road for what possibly could be the final time tonight. Possibly and could be the final time.
Here they come, being led by Jeff Ward in new second place, Brian Yazik.
So we do know, Brandon, that 27, although he's in the 3rd position now, we know he is fast on a short run. If he can get out there, I think he may have a chance at it.
Yeah, the problem is now, I really don't think Jeff Ward is going to let it go that easily. And Yazik's up on the high side. We know that's where Ashland can get his runs from, and that's how he's passed Jeff Ward every time so far.
That is true, so we'll see what the race is off the pit lane. It does look like Yazik did not...
3 wide for that second position. Looks like it went to Mogard.
Wow, that's a big... That is a big change there. Yazik all the way back to the 4th spot, so Jordan Ashland is going to be sitting right behind Jeff Ward on this restart, but we're going to step away for the final time here. Get yourself your refreshments. It's going to be a heck of a finish here at Texas, so stay tuned. We'll be right back with you.
You can't get anywhere else. I enjoy going back to race them whenever I can. I get to run, about 20 to 25 dirt races a year and try and, put on a show every time I'm there.
Battle for the lead. Kyle Larson to the inside of Shane Stewart. Slide job, no. Larson unable to complete the pass. He'll follow Shane Stewart down the back straightaway. Stewart makes the move to the inside of Craig Kinzer. Kyle Larson goes around the outside out of turn 4. You've got a new race leader. Kyle Larson from 9th leads on lap number 23.
I'm probably just a little more relaxed, I guess, at the dirt track just because it's for fun, where the NASCAR stuff, it's points racing and a lot bigger sponsors and stuff you have to please and all that. You're there for 3 days a week, so your approach is a little bit different there, where sprint cars, you're there for 5 or 6 hours and moving on to the next racetrack. So I've been on iRacing, I think, since 2009 or 10. Yeah, I remember, starting out, as a rookie on there, in the Legends and the late models and stuff like that. And that was fun to, have to try and get your licenses up and stuff. But it's amazing to me how, now that I get to race on a lot of the tracks that are on there, how to the T, similar because of the laser scanning and stuff like that. So all the bumps and all the visual aspects of it are very good. So when I first got to like K&N and then the Nationwide Series at the time, I would race iRacing all the time to learn as much as I could about the racetrack before I went to the actual racetrack to race. So to me, it's just for fun now. So I enjoy going on there. Actually, I don't enjoy going on there all the time because I don't win a lot. So it's frustrating to see myself struggle to run top 10 in an Xfinity race or something like that and get beat by Logan Seavey every time I run a sprint car. So the level of competition on iRacing is better than real life. You've got thousands of drivers on there that, a lot of them are probably better than the people you see on TV. They just haven't had the opportunities to make it, but can kick butt on there and you can spend all day long running thousands of laps a day, so you can get yourself, really good at it. So competition level is just unbelievable, really, on there.
And welcome back, everybody, to ASRS, the last car loaded motorsports 200 from the Texas Motor Speedway. And
So far, it's been Jeff Ward dominating here tonight, but he's got company. New second placeman on the outside, Jared Mogard in that 00. Jordan Ashland behind him, Brian Yazek on the outside, and it looks like those 4 drivers are going to be probably under a blanket here on this restart, I'd imagine, as they hit the throttle. Green flag is back in the air. Another great jump by Jeff Ward.
He's out to the advantage that he needs, and Mogard has pretty clear space in the second spot, but Brian Yazek was also able to clear the 27 of Ashland. So let's see if that 55 can crank up the speed there a little bit and see if he can do anything with the top 2.
Those guys kind of spread out for right now. I imagine once those tires kind of get the stickers worn off of them a little bit here through this run, it should get a little bit closer between those guys.
Well, right now the top 10 has kind of fizzled out, but they are still side by side for the 10th or so position. David Howard Jr., John Kennedy. Kennedy's been about every single battle I think we've watched today, he seems, in that number 89 machine. But Howard Jr. looking at the inside of Ritter in turns 3 and 4. Looks like Ritter will shut the door on him.
Oh, the 14 gets into the apron there. Oh, boy.
But he's around.
Oh, and around goes the 14 machine. Saves it through the grass.
Yeah,
big save. Let's see if we can go back on replay.
Yeah, most certainly. We'll see if we can. See here, he kind of got, I think the 14 chopped his nose off a little bit, was not obviously expecting that, and through the grass there, and masterful job to do some agricultural work here for Texas. I think Eddie Gossage will appreciate that, and he will continue on, albeit in a much lower position.
Corey, potential battle for the lead between the 90 and the 00. Jared Mogard has caught back up to Jeff Ward, now right on his back bumper.
Yep.
Ducking underneath, side by side, down into turn number 3.
And Jeff Ward is going to let him go.
Maybe trying the crossover right to his back bumper, Corey.
I have a slightly different look to this, Brandon, and hear me out, I could be completely wrong. But 17 laps on tires is still a very long time. I think Ward is still trying to realize that he's going to get him before the end of the race.
I would have to agree with you, Corey. I think 17 laps is long enough to where he can lay back, save his stuff a little bit.
He can't lay back too long, because look who's right in third.
Yeah, I think that just hit realization for him. Look at him trying to get the lead right back again. Oh, he gets shoved down onto the apron by the 00. Almost mayhem breaking out down through turn number 2.
You know it's bad. It's not even mayhem. That's mayhem.
Yeah.
But Brian Yazek kind of lost a little bit of time from that too. So the top 3 is going to have to coalesce together again if that battle is going to get anywhere. But Ashland is trying to gain on them with all this battling going on, but he's dropped back a little too far.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeff Ward dives it down into turn number 1, trying to make up some ground once again. Mogard a little bit of loose down off of turn number 2. Jeff Ward right to his back bumper once again. I'm sure he will not appreciate being squeezed there that last time. Yeah.
That too, but off of corner number 4, is Yazek going to take a look to the inside of Ward? It looks like that is going to be the case, and Ward's going to let him go.
Not trying to battle quite yet, Corey. I
got the first one, but that one I don't quite understand letting both of them go, but we will see.
We don't know the
maybe he's not letting him go.
Here.
Maybe he's not been able to take to the track with the rubber built up. Maybe he just doesn't have the hand. We don't know, but I really have a hard time believing he's going to purposely fall back to third and try to get him on a 13-lap tire run.
Yeah, I really don't know. We see him great run down through turn number 2, trying to get the momentum off. Unless he's laying back and waiting for these guys in front of him to do something, but I don't know. I think it's crazy.
Yeah, but watch out, Mogard. You have a number 55 right to your deck lid right now. Yazek has obviously saved his tires a little bit better even at the moment. As we're 12 laps into the stint, to the inside, battle for the lead as this race is in its waning stages. Through the bumps and turns 1 and 2, the 55 to the inside, the 00 to the outside. Who's going to get it down the back straightaway?
Side by side down the back straightaway. Also Jeff Ward right behind these guys, waiting to pounce in case something happens. Mogard running that higher line now down through the center of the corner on exit. Should have the momentum to help carry him through, but the 55 of Yazek hanging right in there with him.
Into the wall.
Mogard to the outside wall. Sideways, amazing save. Oh my.
Let's go back on replay here and try to see what happened to Mogard. I think I know what happened to him. I think he got into the wall as the safer barrier juts out into the racetrack. We'll confirm that. Oh, he just got into the wall there in the quad oval, and great job to save it, but that time and the damage that he did get as he loses a spot to, or is about to lose a spot to Ashland, but now this is going to give a 10-lap dash between Jeff Ward and Brian Yazek for the win.
Yeah, new leader, the 55 of Brian Yazek out front of this thing now.
Caution
on the speedway.
Jordan Miller in the 76, backwards entering turn number 1. This is going to get interesting, but let's see what happened to Miller.
He got tagged by the 5.
Looks like
he clipped the grass.
He clipped the grass, and then kind of the 5 was a residual impact from that. I think the 5 got the iRacing boot from the race because of ejection, incidents rather.
Yep, 13-point incident limit here in ASRS. So I believe he's about the 3rd or 4th driver to have that happen to him tonight, get disqualified.
So do you pit? I don't think you have a choice.
I don't think you do either, Corey.
You're gonna have 4. It's gonna be about 4, maybe 5 laps of racing left. So you can't stay out on 15 lap tires with 4 laps to go. Everyone's gonna have to pit, and
here they come.
Does anybody take 2 tires and maybe bank that we're not gonna go green for that long?
Here comes Mogard. Mogard staying out.
Oh man, Jim Foose.
Mogard with the juke.
Foose on the speedway. Do I see Texas-style implications of Denny Hamlin and and Clint Boyer and whatnot at Martinsville? Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson.
This could be mayhem off the restart, Corey. I don't know about this.
Not even mayhem, mayhem.
Yeah, well, I overemphasize words, you know this.
And change the letters too.
Yeah. Well, you can't overemphasize mayhem. It's just hem. You gotta say mayhem.
Kids. But out of pit lane first is Ward. And then we still have Yazek in the... Actually, Yazek lost the battle off pit road, didn't he not there? Remember, Yazek came into pit road in the lead, if I recall correctly, so he lost a spot there. But it may put him in a better spot because he's going to be on... Actually, what lane do you want to be in right now if you are the fresh tire guys? Because we don't have a lot of runoff room here in the quad oval at Texas. It's not a Homestead or somewhere where you have... or Pocono where you have a humongous straightaway. There's not really much room to navigate here until turn 1 and 2 opens up. So where do you want to be, Brandon, in this situation?
I don't know.
I had a feeling that was going to be your answer.
Well, you got 2 cars on the front row on old tires. Now, keep in mind, Jim Foose, and not to discredit him, but he's been running mid-pack pretty much this whole race as is. I don't expect either one of these guys to be fast at all compared to these guys on new tires. I really don't. I think it was a good call maybe from Foose to gain a little bit of extra position if he could. Jared Mogard, I really don't think it was a good call.
As at this point, you figure these drivers have been on the speedway for about 12, I'd say about 12 laps. We'll pull up the graphic here, the stint graphic. They've been on the speedway for 17 laps on this last run that they're on the run they're currently on. Everybody else obviously a lap or two respectively. So about 12, probably 13 of those laps were hard green flag racing, which will put them about a little over a second off the pace compared to these fresh tires, if not a little bit more than that. So we're gonna, if they can get off the line, they might be okay, but they're gonna get annihilated in the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing they really have to watch out for is that tire spin, Corey.
Yeah, that has potential to wad up this entire field and end the race under yellow. So that is a very good point. That is going to be the biggest factor of this restart, most certainly. But take your pick, Brandon. Take your pick.
I'm gonna go with Yazik.
Thank God, because that way I don't have to pick a Ford. I'm gonna pick Jeff Ward. I was actually gonna pick. I was gonna go out of my realm and pick a Ford. I was gonna pick Yazik, but now
I knew you didn't want to do it, but I've got to give it to Yazik. He's showing the speed, Corey.
Yeah, I was actually gonna pick a Ford driver. We can make it known here on whatever date today is. But here we come through turns 3 and 4. What will be the final restart of the night? The older tires up front. Bogart and Foose on the front row. Ward and Yazik in the second row. Everyone on back on fresh tires. Pace car has pulled the pit lane. We await for Mogard to get on the loud pedal. Green flag in the air. We're racing at Texas.
Little bit of tire spin stacking up the outside. They keep it. Everybody keeps it straight.
And here comes the 42 is obviously stacking up the field here. Can Ward get by? He does. So Jeff Ward is in the lead, and we'll watch the stack up go on behind him.
Oh boy, everybody holding it together somehow. 3, 4 wide down into turn number 2, or turn number 3.
Yazik,
here
we go.
Goes Mogart. Wrecking Sam Maxwell around. Caution on the speedway. That's it, folks. That's the race.
A ton of drivers. Maxwell looks like he actually got the worst end of the stick on that, all the way back to the 17th position. And I can't say we weren't expecting that, but let's go.
I knew that that no tires was not going to work, Corey. I knew it, but it worked in Jeff Ward's favor. He managed to get around that mess.
Yeah, Ward did, but Brian Yazik, actually, he was able to sneak through that and get second of it, surprisingly. But after that, you can really see, it looks like a couple drivers in the grass there trying to avoid it. But, I mean, we see it happen time and time again. Older tires.
I just don't think it was a good call, and we know it doesn't work. Jim Foose,
look,
I
mean, look at in those regards. I mean, Mogard, I think he was kind of up there either way, but for Foose, he's going to pull a top 5 out of this race. He was pretty much running mid-20s, and he'll get a top 5 out of the race.
Yeah, Jim Foose, I was going to say, would have been significantly slower, but still probably gained either way. Jared Mogard, I don't think it was a great call. He finishes further back than what he would have.
No, actually, Brandon, he's in the 4th spot now, so it kind of worked out, kind of a washout for him, I do believe. Probably would have finished about there either way, so.
Well.
So, I mean, if you
kind of mayhem to end this race.
If you want to play it that way, I mean, it kind of worked out for both of those drivers, really. It just, for the other drivers who kind of dealt with the after effects of it, if you will, for Sam Maxwell, for example, being top 5 all race in this race will not end in any way to reflect that.
Yeah, absolutely. But, yeah, kind of mayhem to end this race, Corey. And like you said,
you really don't know how to say mayhem, do you?
No, I've always pronounced it mayhem.
Oh, well, I can send you a dictionary next week if you'd like. But it is mayhem. But yes, mayhem to end this race here tonight. Yes, put it up.
I can't believe you never noticed that before.
I don't think you use that word very often, to be honest. But
I really don't use the word very often. Probably because I can't pronounce it.
There it is. There it is. Sorry about the ticker temporarily not showing any positions. Not sure what was going on in that, but we did manage to fix that. So apologies for however long it was off.
It looks like it was off the whole race, so we do apologize for that, folks.
Not a single person commented on that the entire race. I do apologize.
Yeah, I'm
for that.
surprised.
I've been having some issues with the overlays here today, so
They don't
apologies
like
for
us
that.
today, apparently. Well, these guys will come and take the white flag this time. Bye. So, race will end under yellow today here, folks. Not what we want to see, but it was a good race altogether, I believe, Corey.
Yeah, we saw a lot of interesting racing. We saw some tire strategy play out. We never actually saw a full cycle of green flag stops. We did get interrupted during that, but again, we saw pretty much everything that could happen during a race. It does seem like it happened tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of action, a couple of wrecks here and there, a lot of guys try to utilize tire management. Those tires, you know, really wore off there towards the end. And, well, everybody doing a great job here tonight. But Jeff Ward kind of dominated all race. A little bit iffy position there on the final restart of the night there behind a couple of guys that were on, that stayed out on 15-lap old tires, but it did work out for him. Jeff Ward gonna be coming home with victory here in the Twitchy Race Reports Premier Cup Series here with ASRS here tonight. Here from the Texas Motor Speedway, your winner, the number 90, Jeff Ward.
Our congratulations go out to Ward on his 4th win of the season. In dominating fashion, he has taken the reins of this series, but we will step away and gather some drivers together for the post-race show, so stay with us. We'll be back with you shortly.
I mean, everybody's been asking for dirt on there for forever. So when they announced it, I got really, really excited. And honestly, it's blown my expectations away. The cars, to me, drive really good when the track's hooked up. The visual part of the racetrack changing is amazing. How you can run some laps and see it start to get shiny, and then you feel it getting slick. Areas of the racetrack getting dirty, and then you get some cars run through there and it cleans off and gets grip back. It's nuts. The tear-off feature is really cool. Watching the wing move backwards and forwards. I run with the virtual reality headset too, so being able to look down and see everything, it looks extremely realistic. So yeah, it blew my expectations away. And it's only gonna get better, really.
Red Bull GRC is now available on iRacing. I personally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, developing the cars, the tracks, the dirt, making sure it is authentic as possible, and I really think you guys are going to love it. The best part is that this 600 horsepower Volkswagen Beetle is free to all members. So get signed up now and come race me online.
And we're back here to PTR TV for the post-race show. We've gathered together a few of the drivers here tonight, and we will bring you the third place finisher in the booth here tonight, Jordan Ashland.
Jordan, you come home with a third place finish here tonight after a hard-fought battle up towards the front pretty much all night. How do you feel?
Oh, I feel good. Finishing third, that was pretty much that's pretty much my goal for these races. I was running about third through sixth most of the race, but feel pretty good.
Run us through your race a little bit. What you were feeling with the race car, especially throughout those longer runs.
I felt like I was better on the shorter run, or maybe just not as good as saving the tires, and then I think 2 runs from the end past Jeff Ward. That was because I was kind of running my tires into the ground, but I was hoping for a caution to come out right then so that I would be in the lead. We would all have to pit. I would maintain the lead with fresh tires, but it didn't work like that. I think Ward and Yazik got around me, and the caution came out, but still, that was really good.
Tell us a little bit about the end of this race here tonight with those 2 guys out there in front staying out on that last restart.
Yeah, that kind of threw a wrench into things, but I got into 3, and Molgard was just really low, and I think my only option was to hit him, and I did, and it turned out to be not that bad. He came home in 4th, I think.
Yeah, well, you drove the wheels off that race car here tonight. Is there anyone that you'd like to thank and shout out to?
I'd like to thank Jared for sponsoring the Cup Series, and Jared Molgard, that is, Sam Maxwell for sponsoring the Truck Series, and Jim Foose and Tom for putting so much work into the league, and I want to thank you guys, my teammate Mark Emerson.
All right, awesome job, Jordan, and congratulations on your podium finish here tonight.
Guys.
And I believe Corey has our second place finisher, Brian Yazek.
All right, Brian, a second place finish here tonight. You had a pretty good run, top 5 majority of the race, and you had a sniff of the lead there, and you entered the pits, I believe, in the lead on that last set of stops. Ultimately, it didn't end there. So kind of talk about that battle you had with Jeff Ward and in that crazy final restart.
I mean, Jeff is hard to beat in these cars, man. He just knows how to drive them, to the fullest extent of what he can. So when we got the lead, coming down there towards the end of it, I didn't want to see that caution, because I think maybe I could have held him off, or it would have been a heck of a battle. Would have been nice to get on the top step for this HPP simulation Ford Fusion. So would have been nice to get up there, but second's not bad either. So we'll take that and kind of head on down the road.
Yeah, you can't complain about a second. Obviously, it's not what you want, but it's still a good finish nonetheless. So just quickly talk about how the track was here tonight. We saw the multiple grooves really working, and we saw some drivers running the Larson line against the wall, and others committed right to the white line. What was your kind of take on that tonight?
I'm pretty much a catfish. I'm bottom feeding the whole way. I ran up there my teammate Krobach, he came on the radio and said, hey, there's something up in that top groove. So Drew and I, really hilarious, went up there that very next lap, and it was all right. But then, I don't know, it just never set right with me. So we just decided to just kind of stay where we were at, down at the bottom.
If it works, it works. No denying that logic. But again, with the second place finish here tonight, who do you want to give a shout out to tonight, Brian?
Like I said, HPP Simulation for putting the logos on the car, Loud Pedal Motorsports, clipping that apex, all the partners that we have at Loud Pedal Motorsports. Congratulations to Jeff for the win, and we'll go get him down the road.
All right, we'll be watching you take care of that goal, Brian. Congrats on the finish, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week.
All right, sounds good.
And now, Brandon, we'll talk to kind of your race winner. Being pretty used to this position we've been in, the Jeff Ward winning these races, so take it away.
Yeah, he's out of the race car now down here in victory lane. Your winner here tonight from the Texas Motor Speedway, Jeff Ward. Jeff, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. We kind of lucked out on this one for sure, with a couple cautions there played in our favor. Brian was strong there at the end. That caution we had right before the last one, or the last run there, Brian was real good when he got out to the lead, and I was trying to get back to his bumper. I think my tires were just a little better, but I don't know if I could have got there. We only had a handful of laps to go, probably 8 laps, and I knew if I did get there, it was going to be a whole new beast trying to pass him. So he's a good competitor, and definitely probably had that one won right there, coming down the wire. But caution came out. There was a couple guys that didn't take tires there, and was able to get by, and then the caution flew again, which ended the race. So kind of got lucky. A couple things played in our favor there. I don't know if we would have had it on just pure speed there at the end.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you had a really fast race car here tonight. Just tell us a little bit about how the car changed throughout the run and how it affected the way that you were driving the car.
The first probably 50-75 laps, I was pretty good in 1 and 2 on the bottom, and as the race went on, I got to where I was pushing real bad down there, and it really affected my lap times, and some guys were figuring some things out. I don't know if they was playing with brake bias or whatnot, but Mogard, Ashland, and Yoxic, they all gained a lot of speed on what we had there in the beginning, so we had to kind of go back to work to try to figure something out. But yeah, the track definitely changed. Like I said, it got real tight there in 1 and 2. 3 and 4 felt like it stayed pretty much the same. But I would have loved it if the high grooves came in a little better to open up some different lanes for racing. But the track was good.
Now, tell us a little bit about that final restart here at the end, Jeff. What was going through your head, and what was going through your head as you were looking in that rear view?
Well, I knew the 2 guys on the front row were probably going to spin the tires, and Jared, he actually didn't. The 00 there, he got a real good start and was about neck to neck going into 1 there, and I think Foose on the outside spun his, so I was able to shoot up to the outside there and get in that gap. But I knew it was going to be sketchy. This place is always hard, taking off in second gear. You almost want to spin out when you go up to third gear. So just tried to kind of be as patient as I could, not get in the back of nobody there, and try to get out front as quick as we could in case the caution came out, and then caution did end up coming out.
Yeah, worked out well for you coming home with the victory here tonight. Is there anyone that you'd like thank and shout out to?
Yeah, thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast. Thanks to Loud Pedal Motorsports. Team had a pretty bad night overall. I think me and Brian was the only ones left in the field there at the end. So at least we was able to get 1 and 2, but the rest of the guys had a bad night. So hopefully we can have a better, a full team effort next week. But yeah, thanks to American Sim Racing Series, Jim and Tom, and just to friends and family.
Well, awesome job tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Your winner from the Texas Motor Speedway in the Twitching Race Reports Premier Cup Series here with ASRS, Jeff Ward.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so now we will wrap up coverage tonight with the final results here from the Texas Motor Speedway. With the win here tonight was Jeff Ward, leading 98 laps here tonight. Brian Yazik with the second, Jordan Ashland in third, Jared Mogard fourth, then Jim Foose in the 5th spot, Andrew Garrels in 6th, Mark Emerson 7th, Steve Ritter in 8th, John Kennedy 9th, and rounding out the top 10, Jason Stewart. In the 11th spot, we had Zach Calloway, Mark Cohn in 12th position, David Howard Jr. 13th, Tom Gianni and Tim Knott 14th and 15th. Rounding out your top 20, Troy Haight, Sam Maxwell, Nick Curling, Jordan Miller, and Steve Buhala. Remaining spots will flash by on the screen.
Yeah, and, we see some amazing quality from these broadcasts from our awesome producer, Corey Silva, every night, ladies and gentlemen, but these high-quality pictures would not be possible without our channel partners, starting out with Movement Fabrications. They're a family-run business formally established in 2012. With over 25 years of experience in the ventilation industry, they offer a wide range of services. This includes ducting, ventilation, extraction, and canopies. If you're in the Nottingham, UK area, Movement Fabrications is the ventilation service to trust. Also, Krutz Custom Graphics, custom racing shirts, hero cards, paint schemes, and much more. From local racers to big race teams, we've got your back. Based out of upstate New York, Krutz Custom Graphics is always P1. And also iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. Custom graphics, coding, and theme design for iRacing's two main overlay systems, ATVO and IRTVO. If you're a broadcast company looking to make your channel shine with custom overlays, talk to Jason Allison with iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. Also, shout out to Track Cams 4 Gourmet for all of our awesome camera angles every night. And you can check them out at trackcams22.com or visit them on facebook.com/trackcams. Also, be sure to check out our Patreon to keep broadcast quality high and cost low for the league owners. We need a little help from the fans. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/PTRTV. If you become a patron, you'll get rewards that vary depending on how much you donate. Become a patron at patreon.com/PTRTV. And also, don't forget Monday nights, folks, to check out our newest addition to the channel. Not only the Integrity Racing League, a deal that we just picked up, but The Racer's Mind, our podcast every Monday night.
Yep, most certainly don't want to miss that. But again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to tonight's coverage of PTR TV and the ASRS Twitchy Race Sports Premier Cup Series. Congrats to Jeff Ward on his 4th win of the season. Again, don't miss The Racer's Mind, our new Integrity Racing. We have obviously ASRS wrapping up all of 2018, Hardline Racing League, Rivalry Racing League. We're back in business here on PTR TV. Would love your support and to catch you in each and every night. Signing out of the booth is Brandon Krutz, not Evan Black, and Corey Silva. Have a great night, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a great night. Catch you next time.